Hello and welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are going to go ahead and get started. My name is Heather, and I'm on the marketing team here at Eagle Eye Networks. Today, we're presenting on smart cities, turning strategic vision into reality. Before we get started, we do have the usual housekeeping. If you have any questions, please type them in the Zoom Q&A box at any time throughout the presentation, and we will address them at the end of the webinar. This webinar is also being recorded, so all registrants will receive a follow-up email with a link to the full recording after the webinar. Now I will go ahead and introduce your speakers for today. First of all, we have Brody Owen. Brody Owen has been with Eagle Eye Network since 2017 and manages both end-user and channel partner relationships in the South Central United States. Prior to joining Eagle Eye Networks, Brody spent 7 years with a local security integrator here in Austin, Texas, managing a variety of aspects including sales, system design, project management, and customer relations. We also have Sergeant Michael Custer, who has 37 years of law enforcement experience. He is currently a supervisor with the Beaumont Police Department's Special Assignments Unit, which conducts intelligence-led policing activities, including management of technical assets and UAS operations. Custer holds a Master Peace Officer certification and is a certified technical investigator through the National Association of Technical Investigators. And last but not least, we have John Murphy, who is the owner of ProTech Video LLC. Prior to ProTech Video, John Murphy served as a deputy in Baldwin County for 18 years. During his law enforcement career, he served in patrol, narcotics, and criminal investigations, as well as working on federal task force for the Drug Enforcement Administration and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. When John left the sheriff's office, he was the supervising lieutenant for patrol. We have a great lineup of speakers today, so without further ado, I will go ahead and pass along the presentation to Mr. Brody Owen.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you all for joining us. We do appreciate your time today, and definitely thank you to Sergeant Michael Custer and Mr. John Murphy. We want to make absolutely the best use of your time, so we're going to go through some slides. We're also going to show you some real-world scenarios, and then, of course, have some time for questions and answers at the end. So when we're talking about smart cities, it's all about the objective. It's about intelligently and responsibly leveraging technology to enhance the safety and the quality of life for the people who live in, work in, or visit your city, while making innovative and efficient use of those available resources. And there's a number of reasons why the cloud is best suited to accomplish those objectives. Cost savings, the ease of sharing the video, the scalability and future-proof nature of the cloud, along with the short, rapid deployment timeframes and customizability that you cannot find with traditional on-premise server-based solutions. Now, your city can't be smart if it isn't safe, and the smartest cities start with cloud video surveillance. So this might incorporate a number of different technologies between disaster early warning systems, security, smart surveillance, gunshot detective, real-time crime mapping, data-driven building inspections. All of these things work together with and including the cloud to make your city safe and smart. Now, of course, Eagle Eye has some of the best-in-class API integrations. These include Sentry, Madroid, IONodes, DMP, and a number of others. Eagle Eye Network Cloud VMS is based on an open API. So the possibilities of integrating with all different types of systems to make your city safe and smart is absolutely a key to leveraging that technology in the most efficient way possible. Future-proofing your investment, there's a number of different ways the cloud helps you with this, with centralized management, access to live or historic video across a large geographical area. Could be multiple floors in a building, buildings on a campus, buildings within a city or cities within a county. Now, the scalability is absolutely key as well, because you can leverage the existing camera investments, your analog cameras, your HD over coax, or your existing IP cameras, and we've got compatibility with more than 3,000 cameras currently. And with data analysis, efficiently collecting, aggregating, and storing that data gives you that deep analysis to produce the smart city insights that you're looking to achieve. And with remote access, the cloud does it better than any other platform. You can see live and historic video based on a browser-based UI or Android and iOS applications. So it doesn't matter if you have a Mac or a Windows or a mobile display terminal in your patrol vehicle or a large-scale real-time crime center like you'll see in one of the examples coming soon. you can absolutely have that remote access both securely and reliably. First responders access is a unique feature with Eagle Eye Cloud VMS. You can pre-nominate first responders, and in an emergency situation, those pre-designated first responders can receive immediate real-time access to security cameras, giving a faster, more clear insight and providing the correct emergency solutions. With data center operations, operating your own data center is expensive and challenging to say the least. With Eagle Eye Cloud VMS, you get a more robust and lower cost solution for both small and large deployments. Smart today, smart tomorrow. The Eagle Eye Cloud VMS is an open platform that provides a future-proof solution, integrating AI or artificial intelligence, video analytics, and advanced search functions all at the click of a mouse. Let's break down those silos, give you more actionable insights, and we can fuel expansion as the city grows in size, capability, or sustainability, and promoting greater transparency and direct access to those data sets. I want to talk to Mr. John Murphy now, customer story out of Mobile, Alabama. So this was a project between Protect Video, Eagle Eye Cloud VMS, and the city of Mobile, Alabama. Mr. Murphy, I'll have you stand by. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to play this short video. This is actually the customer themselves, Commander Kevin Levy from the Mobile Police Department. So I'll take a moment. It's only going to take about 2 minutes, and I'd really like you to enjoy this video.
I'm Kevin Levy. I'm the commander over the Technology and Cyber Intelligence section at the City of Mobile Police Department. Within this section, we house many different units and details, primarily engaged in intelligence-led policing. Everything from the Real-Time Crime Center to certain reconnaissance units, as well as Project Shield, one of our great accomplishments since July of 2015. Project Shield is a public-private partnership that allowed us to form relationships with community members, with private businesses, to gain direct access to their video systems so that in times of critical incident, we can actually pull up live video feeds or historical feeds if something's already happened and utilize it immediately. In some instances, even pushing it directly to patrol officers on the street. So Eagle Eye, it just comes naturally to be a really good fit for Project Shield. One of the main reasons is its ease of use, the ability to just connect and disconnect rapidly and move things around. But really the greatest part of that is its video in the cloud, which for us allows for the easiest connectivity here at the Real-Time Crime Center and the Joint Operations Center. And so not soon after we started Project Shield, we deployed a video system that relied on an Eagle Eye bridge during a major event that was occurring downtown. And we were expecting thousands of participants to come to that event. And lo and behold, with a camera that was attached to an Eagle Eye bridge, we were actually able to zoom in and identify an individual going back into a vehicle and retrieving a firearm. We were able to dispatch individuals quickly to the scene. Officers surrounded the individual, safely secured the weapon, and when they asked what evidence we had of this individual retrieving the weapon, not only did we have the video that we could quickly access from the cloud, we were able to bring them a still shot, a screenshot, if you will, of the individual holding the gun while it was being retrieved from the car, and he was quickly apprehended and taken to jail. We have access to a little over 5,000 live streaming video feeds that are tunneled into our Joint Operations Center here and can also be accessed remotely. The scope of cybersecurity for us is huge. Not only as a police department, we're mandated to have a security plan for everything that we connect to the internet or to the cloud. When you have a potential partner that you want to engage in and they're sensitive to their video system, being able to show them that what we do on our end is secure. And Eagle Eye being able to represent an encrypted or secure connection point for us is a huge selling point. And it's one of the very first talking points that we have to overcome whenever we solicit a new partnership from someone out in the field.
So ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, Eagle Eye Networks and our Cloud VMS provides an integral part of smart cities, specifically for the city of Mobile, Alabama. And I'd like to bring up Mr. John Murphy with Protect Video to talk a little bit about that project. John?
Yeah, thanks, Brody. I'll tell you, we had several things that we looked at when we went into the program. And initially, before you can do anything successful like they've done in Mobile, they had to have a well-planned vision, and then they had to have the support, and they had the right people with the right tools. And that's something that they've gotten to do. So it's been very positive there, and they've grown. They started off with a test of about 12 cameras, and then it's grown to hundreds of cameras. And they've been able to pull in a variety of systems, but the system coming in from Eagle Eye has always been much, much easier. We can almost do it on the fly. And what's been real important with it is also if somebody transitions out of the unit or goes someplace else, or if there's someone who no longer should have access, we can control all that through Eagle Eye. And also what kind of access they have. So all of those things have made it a great system for us to be able to use there. A little bit about Project Shield as it's developed. It's a great example of a public and private partnership in building a smart city. And I got to tell you, it's something I wish we'd had when I was working in law enforcement, but it is actually pulled in and made people, as far as the public sector, feel like they're more part of something. So initially the cameras were put in by, the police department or other government agencies, but now we have far more cameras because neighborhood entrances or cameras at condos and apartments, businesses, restaurants, and also just residential cameras have all joined in to make it a much better system. Also, as we've trying to get in, they started to develop Project Shield. We've also gotten something where it's gone from just the city of Mobile, and kind of in reverse. If you're familiar with a lot of federal task force, typically it's most task force, it's a federal task force that then starts bringing in local or agencies and bringing in personnel from those. The way they worked it in Mobile, though, they built something, and when they built it, others wanted to come. So they've got the city started the program, and then other cities and state representatives have all come together to join it. And now there's also several federal agencies that have joined them. And they have gone from the room that you saw, they've got that structure, but they also have a whole nother building that's now housing them. And they have quite a bit more that falls under that cyber division, but it's been a very powerful tool for them over there, and it's made a significant difference. The cameras, just to give you an example, as far as the stolen vehicles, they were having quite a lot of them. And the last number I heard this year from 3 years ago, stolen cars are down 70%. And that's just an incredible number. But the reason is because you still got the people stealing cars, but now they're getting them a lot quicker and putting them in jail before they can steal another car. And I kind of wanted to go over just a couple of things that you can do here. One, the very important, going back to the bridge and the cloud, not only can someone be out in the field and doing their job, and they can be looking at this on their phone, the iPad, but at the same time, you can have a live feed going so that while there is a team doing something in the field, the chief could be watching everything from his desk as well. And being able to, that flexibility and the ability to view that from all over has been just a really powerful tool. The couple of things, and I don't want to put in too many war stories, but just kind of let you know the way these things have been used and how effective. They had a carjacking situation a couple of years ago, and it was kind of the worst of everything. Elderly man in his 70s was driving, pulls up to a stop sign. Some young kids stop him at gunpoint, pull him out of the car. The guy was completely cooperative, but they still threw him down the ditch and shot him twice. He did survive, but because they knew who he was, and the man's rushed to the hospital, obviously, and they knew his vehicle, they had a tag, they had a description of that. And we started getting in all the cameras in the system. And in less than 24 hours, they found the vehicle, stopped the individuals, and not only did they arrest the ones that were responsible, but they were able to secure the weapon that was used in the shooting for evidence. And they also recovered, I think it was 8 other weapons that had been stolen that were going to be sold on the street for other purposes. The B&Es are something that's been huge here, and it's been a real problem for us. And the last officer that was shot and killed in Mobile actually was shot with a weapon that was stolen from a car. So they have really tried to focus on those type issues, and the cameras have been a very large part in resolving a lot of those. One other incident, just to show you the speed, and again, having the right people with the right tools. There was a bank robbery suspect, and they were hitting places all the way from Texas to Florida. And they hit one in Mobile, and just instantly the guys get on the cameras and they figure, well, the bank was here. He's probably past these cameras, and they had a partial description from the bank. And when they went into it, they were able to pull the photo of the guy in the bank. They had a partial description of a car. They matched that. And as the car passed one of the cameras, they also saw a hat thrown in the back dash. Well, they now have a tag. They've got a partial description of or a good description of the vehicle, and they're starting to look for it. They then follow up with social media, and they get on a Facebook page. The vehicle came back registered to a lady in Texas. They pull up her Facebook page, look at that, and she's standing next to the same guy who had robbed the bank, wearing the hat that was in the photo on the back dash of the car. So when you start putting those things together, and those guys working hard and they have the tools, they seem to want to work a lot harder because they know they can do it. The fast identification, being able to stop somebody, being able to preserve the evidence that might be lost if it took a month or longer to find them, has just been incredible. And when you sit up and you look at the impact, I know this year has been at least 3 homicides and a rape where we stopped those individuals all on the same day that the event occurred. And they had no other evidence until they went into the cameras, and they started putting together things with good investigation, then with the video that we had surrounding the area. And now it's in multiple counties in this area. And it's just become a real powerful tool. And the bridge, the Eagle Eye Bridge, is the backbone of all that, because what it does is allows us a quick way of gathering that information across multiple agencies. It also allows us to use it in multiple ways, whether it's just general surveillance cameras, specialized cameras like LPR, or in covert systems. And also down here, the Mardi Gras is huge. And so when they have areas that they can't normally cover, we'll go on a rooftop and we'll put a camera, a PTZ on a tripod. And then they can actually observe traffic. They can see what's going on, and they can pull that data up, and they can feed it to all the officers that are working that area. And it's just been an incredible support to them. And it's gotten now where it's not that they just want it, they almost feel they got to have it. So it's been a great tool that they've really appreciated. And we've been real proud to be part of that. And that's, Brody, you got anything else there?
No, thank you so much, John. Just kind of recap, as you can see, expediting the crime resolution, having video surveillance as one of those tools that Commander Levy and his colleagues in Mobile have is leading to those expedited resolution. And having these, homeowners associations, condos, neighborhood entrances, you may only have 2, 3, 4, 5 cameras in each of these cases, but as they're put together, pumped into the real-time crime center, it provides that much larger community watch program. And it's a value that's widely recognized and adopted by other agencies. Just like John was saying, it kind of almost went backwards. This was a scenario where the city of Mobile, Alabama started this program, which very rapidly got the attention of multiple state and federal agencies. So as you can see with Eagle Eye Networks having the ease of use, the installation flexibility, and the flexibility to group cameras within different layouts and just really use that video quickly and efficiently is what helps the city of Mobile be able to put their Project Shield into effect. Here's just a couple of pictures. As you can see, cameras all over in different places, different environments. Eagle Eye Cloud VMS can run on just about any type of internet connection, including cellular. So again, it's a lot of flexibility. The Real-Time Crime Center, as you can see here, and like John mentioned, it has absolutely grown. But as you can see, a large screen here, multiple seats at the table because there have been so many other agencies that want to be a part of this project. So having this control room in this facility is absolutely paramount. Then we have one other panelist, Sergeant Michael Custer from the city of Beaumont, Texas. Him and I have been working together for about 3 years. And without further ado, I'll let Mr. Custer go ahead and tell you about what they're doing in Beaumont.
Thank you, Brody. The Beaumont Police Department took in intelligence-led policing. We began intelligence-led policing operations about 10 years ago. The chief formed a special assignment unit with that task in particular. And the technical program that came with it was primarily utilized by the narcotics unit. So we inherited some off-the-shelf solutions, really had some problems. We had no local vendors. We had, with these off-the-shelf solutions, if one component went out, we lost the entire asset for the period that it was being repaired, to have it shipped back and repaired. So we started looking into some homegrown type solutions. We discovered the National Technical Investigators Association, and so some of the members of the unit went and obtained level 1 and level 2 certifications. We then began building our own video assets. Again, these were primarily used by narcotics, and we would build enclosures to fit the environment, pole cams, ground mounts, just whatever we needed to do to fulfill the mission. So what we learned from this, don't consider this IP video and the Eagle Eye Bridge, don't consider it technology, consider it a tactic. We've moved this over into just about all aspects of our police department. We expanded to include critical infrastructure and emergency management. Not only did that provide a great deal of additional security, but it also created new funding sources. We were able to use port security grants and justice assistance grants to build our inventory of bridges and camera components. And again, that the capability, the ability to build a system, replace a component as needed, has just been a great asset to us. Deployments have included hazmat incidents, hurricanes, severe weather incidents. We seem to be getting pretty good at this hurricane stuff. Planned special events. We have several major events in the jurisdiction. The newest one is a Mardi Gras celebration. We set up 3 or 4 cameras, and then we also tie into existing city cameras that are also on the Eagle Eye system and set up a command post. It's been an incredible benefit to the officers working. As John said earlier, we're able to stream to our city iPhones, our city iPads, and pretty much monitor the event from anywhere in the field. The system flexibility is what's really amazing. We're able to do rapid deployments and live stream videos from just about any place, even a place that has an existing analog system, such as a store, a retail shop, or even a home security system. We're able to use an Eagle Eye Bridge and an encoder to tap into an existing system and allow that system to work as it's designed, but also monitor it real time. So again, looking at this as a tactic, one of the other things that the Special Assignment Unit was tasked with was developing a UAS program. So we got the drone program going, and we realized that one of the things we really needed was the ability to live stream. Well, that solution out of the box was very expensive. It was almost cost prohibitive. So again, thinking of this IP technology as a tactic, we started working with Eagle Eye and actually developed a drone live streaming solution that works, that ties into the cloud-based system. So that in itself has just been huge for our SWAT team. On every deployment, every narcotic search warrant, every type of SWAT or tactical problem we have, the UAS team will launch a drone and will actually live stream as the SWAT team is doing their tactical briefing. And then as they approach the objective, they're coming from across town, they've got iPads and they're able to see the target and see the activity as they approach, all the way up to the time that they make the hit. So that's just become just really critical in SWAT operations. We've also developed the ability to use the Eagle Eye Bridge into any of our deployables, hostage throw phone, our robot. We're able to live stream any of that, and it's just been an incredible asset. But again, if I could encourage you, just think of it as a tactic. Think of how can you add this bridge into your everyday works. It's been a great benefit to us. Brody?
Thank you very much, Sergeant. I appreciate that. So again, as you can see, using it in a number of different scenarios as a tactic, whether it's covert for, SWAT or undercover investigations, or overt for freeway and roadway operations, and those limitless deployment flexibilities. We're going to show you some examples of that coming up, including some real-time drone footage, and developing that ability to integrate it into existing video systems. So again, Eagle Eye Networks bringing to the table a number of specific benefits here, along with remote access and bandwidth management, looking at rapid response for weather condition monitoring, and having that broad camera compatibility. So we'll take just one moment here, and I want to show you this video, and I'll let Sergeant Custer kind of tell you a little bit about what this video is showing here.
This is it's two Eagle Eye systems in operation. It's our live streaming from our video, or from our UAS. And it's also what we call City Overwatch. That's a camera that was deployed for a special event, the Mardi Gras celebration. And it was so successful, it covered about a fourth of the downtown area, that the administration asked for it to be permanently affixed at that location. So we received permission from the building owner, left that building up, and there was an unfortunate incident at that park after the special event, a drowning that was actually captured by that camera. We went back and were able to ascertain what exactly happened during the incident. So liability-wise, I mean, that thing is gold. But that installation, we put it together, we mounted it. It's been up for probably 12 months now, and had absolutely no problems with either solution.
Yep, thank you, Sergeant. And I'd just definitely like to point out, a couple of things that I'd like you to take away from this particular video is number one, you can see exactly how it looks on the iPhone, and you can see exactly how that drone feed looks right there on a Dell laptop. So again, talking about the flexibility, and Sergeant Custer will speak a little bit more as this, but this kind of gives you an idea of what some of these covert systems look like. So Sergeant Custer, where or what type of scenarios would these covert units be in play?
Those are generally mounted on a utility pole. That is just one of the many different types of enclosures that we build, and it looks kind of big sitting on the desk or on the workbench, but when it's mounted on a utility pole, it's really not that noticeable. We've had great success. We have numerous cameras deployed on investigations, and that's again, that I mentioned the off-the-shelf solutions that we previously used. We build that in our tech room. All the guys that are certified as members of the tech unit have the ability to go in. They know the components. They know how to troubleshoot, and they can replace that component either in the tech room or as the system is mounted out in the field. So it's just really a great asset to us.
Absolutely. So moving forward, we've got one more video here talking about tactical drone operations. And as I let this play, Sergeant Custer, I'll let you kind of narrate.
SWAT was executing a search warrant and a buy-bust operation. Again, we started deploying the drone anytime there was any type of tactical action going on. So what you're seeing, a meet to get the suspect out of an apartment to keep from having to hit an apartment, set up a meeting at a car wash. The two white rectangular buildings are car wash stalls. And you'll see a subject walking in between the two buildings. That is our subject that we're trying to take down. You'll see a couple of TAC units approach, and he starts to flee on foot. So the drone sticks with him, and police standards, that's a pretty long foot chase. The drone was able to stay with him, and the operator was able to radio positions, locations, and made for a successful takedown. But that live stream is visible in the field. It's visible from the MDCs. It's visible at the station. Just any place that has internet access, we're able to live stream that. And it's opened a lot of doors for us.
Yes, sir. So a couple of takeaways that I'd like to point out. Number one, having that flexibility again, being able to connect video from a UAS, and number one, maintain safety, because taking this subject, being able to apprehend them, bring them into custody very quickly instead of that subject getting away, is of course going to enhance safety. The drone operator being able to vector the resources to apprehend this subject, and of course the flexibility with the cloud of being able to have multiple people in multiple different locations seeing the same video. One of the unique aspects of the cloud is the video goes from the bridge attached to this drone to the cloud one time and one time only. And then whether you have 1, 10, or 100 different people viewing that video, you're using the resources of the cloud. So it's going to provide for a much enhanced experience. So Mr. Custer, thank you very much. I want to bring up one other type of use case scenario. This was actually in Mexico City, Mexico. MiCAI, otherwise translated to My Street Project. They were able to install 12,880 cameras connected to the Eagle Eye Cloud VMS in 4 months. Now, the total project is slated to be 58,000 cameras in high crime areas and 16,000 cameras in public transport. So it contributes to Mexico City's larger citizen safety mobile application. In Mexico City, they have what's called C5. It's their command and control center. So they're bringing all that video in, trying to enhance the safety and provide additional resources to Mexico City. So some of these particular units that you'll see being installed, the NEMA 4 enclosure, based on 1 or 2 Eagle Eye Cloud VMS cameras. It also has a speaker, a siren, and a help button. So being able to deploy almost 13,000 cameras in only 4 months in a major metropolitan area such as Mexico City not only enhances the safety, but it absolutely gets people talking about it. As you can see, there's been a number of national and international stories published about this, bringing this to the forefront that, as Mr. Murphy and Sergeant Custer has been able to clearly demonstrate, having this technology, using it as a tactic with the flexibility is going to enhance safety, and it's going to make sure that we grow that safety network. So we definitely want to thank you all so very much for your time. Heather has some questions that have come in, and we, of course, encourage you to reach out and contact us if you have any specific scenario questions. We'll be happy to help with that. Heather?
Absolutely. Thank you, Brody. And thank you so much to our presenters so far for your insight. Yes, now we'll transition to Q&A. If you in the audience have any more questions, now would be the time. Please type them in the Q&A box, please. I'll start with the first few that have come through. We do have one from Jacob who says, how do they deploy those mobile PTZs on tripods? Is that via LTE connection?
We actually have several different ways. What we've done is and this is John, I'm sorry. There's been several locations that they partnered up with because they do know that there are a variety of locations that have the high ground so that they can mount them. So that we'll go in, and on those, we have cameras already built up on some tripods, and we'll put some PTZs out, and we have the bridge and all connected. And whenever we can, we do try to get a hardline connection from a business or whoever's there. But we also have used quite a few Cradle Points or PEP links using either FirstNet or something along those lines to support it. And we've actually, even with the FirstNet card, we've been able to have 2 and 3 cameras operational off of one. So it's been a pretty rapid support. And the biggest thing we typically have to worry about is power. But if we have power and an internet connection, we're good to go.
Thank you, John. And also to point out, Eagle Eye Cloud VMS, we actually have two different types of devices. The bridge is going to store all the video in the cloud, and it's going to rely on a robust internet connection. Our CMVR stands for Cloud Managed Video Recorder, and this is what is used in the cases where you would be relying on cellular connectivity, to where you can store some or all of the video locally, but still rely on the cloud VMS to provide that single pane of glass. So Heather, next question, please.
Yes, so the next one actually comes from Joseph, and this is a good concern. Has there been any political pushback from the public for these public surveillance systems? And what are ways to work with/around these concerns?
So I'll start the answer to that question, and then John, I want you to come in from your personal experience in Mobile.
Sure.
What I've seen working with a number of these projects in different cities and different states is, number one, it is an opt-in type program in these types of jurisdictions and municipalities. So don't mistakenly think that you can just go in and grab a camera for Eagle Eye. This is something that the customer absolutely has to opt into. If you go take a look at the City of Mobile's website, they actually have some additional web literature on Project Shield, and there's an application to make sure that the customer has the authority to grant access and chooses to grant access. And of course, the customer, the end user, be it the homeowner, be it the restaurant, be it the retail store, they have 100% control to share the cameras with or revoke the sharing access for that. John, what have you seen from a public and political climate in Mobile?
So far, it's been very supportive. I mean, you're always going to have somebody that comes back with something, and typically that's going to be an attorney or someone along those lines. But when I first got into this, I was really concerned about the whole Big Brother thing, and I didn't know how well it would be received by the communities. But what we've ended up finding is that, by far the bulk of them just want to be safe. And so what we're having is more and more of the neighborhoods, join the program. Matter of fact, it's probably, for me as a vendor, that's been one of the bigger things, because they don't want a system that can't connect to the police department. And I think, and the advantage there too is, even if you're a resident, you got to realize that because we're using the cloud and the bridge, I can give, if you have 5 cameras at your home, and just one of those cameras is facing the front of the road and the other ones are on your pool or whatever, you can just share that one camera. And so we've tried from a presentation point from people, in the communities, they're familiar with it. We also try to protect a lot of the things that we do and how we do them, because we don't want the bad guy to know how to avoid it. But so there is a part of the support that we do in protecting how we do it. But at the same time, it's also very well known that the systems are up and are out there. And we just, to date, with the exception of a few people that have said something that never went anywhere, we've never had any problems.
Thank you, John. And one other thing that I'd like to point out is, whenever you're using the Eagle Eye Bridge, number one, just like John said, you don't have to share all the cameras. So a business owner, for example, might have 8 cameras, and 6 of those are interior, and he can keep those 100% private. But the camera on the front sidewalk and the camera on the back alley, those can be shared with the local law enforcement. The other thing is the retention period. Our bridges can have customized video retention on a camera by camera basis, from 0 days, 2 days, all the way up to 5 years. 0 days might be in play if you're a city administrator and you don't want to record the video. You only want live video access to minimize the liability of storing the video and being subject to freedom of information requests. However, if you do want to store that video, you can do so for an extended time, up to 5 years. Heather?
Yeah, definitely. Those are great responses. Thank you. And we do have one from Ken here, who is more broad. What does the process look like to, one, get into a job like this, and then 2, who supports us? I think you've touched on it just a bit here, but maybe dive a little deep into that.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that question one time, Heather? I'm sorry, I had an audio connection.
Sure. What does it look like to get into a job like this, and who can they look to for support?
So I guess since it's not specific, I'll speak to Eagle Eye, and then I'll actually let Sergeant Custer kind of speak to, if you're wanting to get into this type of intelligence-led policing. With Eagle Eye Networks, we are actually growing right now. If you follow us on LinkedIn or any other social media, you'll notice some stories. Just very, very proud to know this. We've actually secured an extra $40 million in funding to help fuel the growth of Eagle Eye, not only with headcount, but also with advances in technology and artificial intelligence and bringing more integrations to the table. With this, we are on track to hire almost 100 new employees over the next 6 to 18 months. So you can definitely reach out to sales@eem.com or see our career page. And if it's something you're interested in, please reach out. As far as the law enforcement, intelligence-led policing, Sergeant Custer, I'll let you kind of talk about how you might pursue a career in that.
Well, it's going to start out with the basics. We all started out as rookie police officers. We attended a police academy, went through the process. The one thing I can tell you in technology, law enforcement technology, find a niche, find an area that you can actually exploit. I had no history in IT or in technology, anything like that. But I attended training. I learned the old microwave systems, audio systems, and then in practical applications in the narcotics unit, in CID, and then now in intelligence-led policing, that's come to pay. So you got to start out with the basics, and I encourage any department to look into the intelligence-led policing, the information that's available today. We can show some pretty good success in it.
Okay,
Thank you, Sergeant
definitely. Thank
Custer.
you. I believe it's Eric here did want to point out that one of the unique differences with the Eagle Eye CMVR is that they're ruggedized, meaning that you can deploy these units in high temperatures of over 100 degrees. Just wanted to point that out. And then Jeffrey did have another question here is, how do you handle bandwidth issues when there are dozens of cameras deployed, but yet you want real-time viewing?
So of course you are going to have bandwidth for real-time viewing, as you would with any system, VMS or otherwise, or even just connected directly to the camera. So if you're using a bridge and you have a robust internet connection, we typically say you need about 500K upload per megapixel of cameras, or a half a meg. So if you've got 12 cameras and you're running those at 1080p, which is 2 megapixels each, then you've got about 20 megapixels. Now, if you want to be able to stream all of that video, you're going to need about a 10 meg upload. So if you're working on cellular connectivity, you're probably only going to be able to live stream 1 or maybe 2 cameras off of each bridge, off of each cellular connection. And of course, it is going to depend a lot on your carrier. From AT&T to Verizon, depending upon the proximity of the cell towers, the congestion on the network. And that's why I'm sure you probably heard the name FirstNet mentioned whenever John was talking about Mobile, Alabama. FirstNet is a SIM card that is specifically designed for law enforcement and public safety. So I would definitely encourage you to look into that if you are wanting to deploy a smart cities type solution.
Hey, Brody, one other thing I would like to point out on that too is, especially with some of the covert installs we do, there's going to be times that some of the locations, like if we have an AT&T or a Verizon, it's always kind of smart if you can to have both cards, because most of the devices will handle multiple cards. So in some places we may put in an AT&T or a Verizon, or we may have both, and that way we can swap them if necessary, just for the connectivity issues.
That's a great point. Thank you, John.
Sounds good. All right. Well, that's all we'll cover for now. We really hope that you found this webinar educational, and we hope that you'll stay tuned. Watch out in your email. If you don't really know where to start when it comes to starting this smart city initiative, we actually have a checklist that you can go through. It's 8 must-dos for successful smart city deployments. So check your email. You will go ahead and receive the recording to this, as well as the supplemental information. You can always contact us if you have any further questions We're eager and available to help you. Our contact information is here. Thank you so much to our presenter today. You did a great job. Thank you so much. And that will conclude our presentation. Thank you guys, and we look forward to hearing from you.